Do you care about being rare? Then keep watching this video because I might burst your bubble, but also I will show you what it really means to be rare in a valuable way. Okay, welcome back to Type Evolution, where we talk about how to evolve with our personality type. Recently, there's been a lot of media, memes, videos about being rare and how the rarest personality type is not INFJ and MBTI anymore, but actually ENTJ. And that is assuming that the statistics are correct. If they are correct, all right, ENTJs might be the rarest, female ENTJs to be specific. And if they're incorrect, then, well, then it doesn't really matter anyway. But let's just assume that there are rare personality types in the world compared to the other ones. That there are types that are much more common than others. And this is how you end up having one or a few rarest personality types. In my opinion, I do believe and think that there are indeed less common personality types, but that mostly has something to do with the fact that they are not as needed in our society. I'm saying it's a fact. I have to admit it's more of a hypothesis at this point. I don't know for certain, but based on how I see it, based on how human societies seem to be structured, you, for instance, don't really need that many inventors or that many gurus or humanitarians. If you have a certain tribe, let's say you have a tribe and you only need one humanitarian or guru, that's enough. Whereas you need way more soldiers, you would need way more gatherers, food gatherers, people who get things done, right? So these would be, stereotypically speaking, the S types. I've made a video about the purpose of the 16 personalities, that each personality type has a vital role in our society. And I also made a video about dumb sensors where I debunk the stereotype that all sensors are dumb. Sensors can be intelligent as well. So this obsession and glorification of rare personality types is really annoying to me because it is glorifying one or two personality types based on nothing really, just based on being more rare. And that's not even 100% clear if that's true, but even if it is true, even if ENTJs and INFJs are more rare, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are better types. So why not, right? Why not? Especially when you see so many descriptions who are glorifying the INFJ personality, glorifying the ENTJ personality, just based on being rare. This is just trying to appeal to your ego, basically. A lot of MBTI can be very markety, like very much marketing focused, where it's a lot about, okay, how can we make people more interested in the theory? And one of these things is to make something appear more rare. It's a very, very common tactic and stereotype in sales or in general that people try to glorify something by saying, oh, short demand, not that many things of this are available, or the supply is low, or it's so rare. And this alone can make people believe, falsely believe, that that thing is better than the other things, just because it is rare. But I think you are smart enough to know the difference between something just being rare and something actually being valuable as well. I think we can all agree, or at least most of us can agree, that being a serial killer is more rare, but it's not more valuable. Being mentally ill, having a personality disorder is also more rare, but it is not more valuable or more desirable as a personal trait. Or having a fearful avoidant attachment style, which is actually considered one of the least common attachment styles, also called disorganized, is also not really more desirable or more valuable, even though it is more rare. So these examples already show that being rare is not automatically being better. But for some reason, people keep focusing on this. What is the problem with that? As I said, they are focusing just on the rare aspect and not what it actually means. Just because something is rare doesn't mean it's better. It just means there's less people, in this case, people with that personality type out there. Okay, one extreme is, oh yeah, I'm so rare, that makes me so much better than all the other types. That's one ego response. The other negative ego response is, oh, I'm so rare because I suck so much, I'm so shitty, you know? Like both of these extremes, I don't want you to fall into either one of those. To be honest, both of these are very foolish, okay? I know maybe I'm being a bit harsh here, but really. Also, another thing I keep seeing, people asking, okay, INFJ, I'm an INFJ, I'm the rarest personality type. Is it common for INFJs to have traumas or something like that? And then oftentimes people respond, yeah, I have trauma, yeah, it's very common, blah, blah. Actually, INFJ and trauma are not connected when it comes to personality type itself. But the thing is, many people who are traumatized are more rare, and they have a uniquely different experience and troublesome experience compared to most other people. Most people are around average in the gray zone. So if you are traumatized, that already distinguishes yourself from others. And then you are more inclined to type yourself as INFJ just because INFJ is glorified as this one rare type. It just means traumatized people type themselves as INFJ. Or some other kind of Ntype. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm ranting in this video, but no, being traumatized, having a certain attachment style or some other personality disorder, whatever, does not mean you're an Ntype. It just means you have a certain experience that, yes, distinguishes you from, let's say, the masses of people, but that does not mean it is more valuable to be this way, and it doesn't mean that that's actually your real personality type. I'm gonna make a video explaining what the average test result in these average free online tests really mean in terms of the letters. So stay tuned for that. It might take a while because I have some other videos in the background, but yeah, this subject had to come into the forefront for now. What is actually valuable and rare? My answer to this, it's not being INFJ, it's not being ENTJ, it's not being any of the other types. What is actually both valuable and rare is being on the light side of your personality type, of your cognitive functions. So, okay, light side, being self-fulfilled and following your purpose. So that makes you rare and valuable. As I said, most people are in the gray zone, meaning they are in between light and dark, and they might lean towards darkness or light. So they might be like dark gray or light gray. I talked more about the light and dark side of the personality types in another video. So you might be in the gray zone, or let's say someone else might be in the gray zone, or most people are actually. A few are in the very dark zone, and that's mostly the very unhealthy people, and very few on the very light side. And being on the light side is the most valuable, and it is very rare. The most common chunk of people are average or unhealthy. Being healthy, mentally healthy, being on the light side and following your purpose and being satisfied with your life and self-fulfilled, that is rare, and that is valuable, and that is desirable. And this is rare for every personality type. No matter what your personality type in the Jungian system is, being on the light side, for following your purpose, having positive beliefs about yourself and the world that actually help you, and fulfilling your instinctual needs, fulfilling yourself, being self-aware, being in a higher, healthier level of Enneagram. All these things will put you at an advantage, will make you more rare and valuable. And this is what is actually great. Everything else is just noise, dark noise. All the other aspects you can ignore. Just being rare by itself is not good, not valuable, not desirable by any means. Even being more common can be better than being really traumatized, being really messed up, so to speak. Now, I'm not judging it. I'm not saying you are bad for being traumatized. In a lot of cases, it is not your fault. In a lot of cases, you have been dealt with a bad hand, let's say. You have been suffering a lot. You have had to deal with a lot of issues and problems in your life for whatever reason. And I've also experienced some pretty dark stuff in my life. So I'm not saying that you are less of a human for going through that. But At least if you are subscribed to my channel and if you are watching my videos regularly, I think it is your obligation to yourself, your responsibility to yourself as a human being to get out of it, to get out of the darkness, to move towards the light side. It is going to make your life so much better. You're going to be so much more self-fulfilled, happier, and you will see that just being rare is not really valuable. It doesn't really matter. So you could be a sensing type that is pretty common. Let's say stereotypically they say ISFJ and ISTJ and MBTI are like some of the most common types. But even though they are common, a lot of them are, like I said, gray or dark, like average or unhealthy. But if you are a very healthy or self-aware or light side ISFJ or ISTJ, you're going to be ahead of many intuitives who are in the dark side. Let that sink in. So it really does not matter what your personality type is. It is your responsibility to move to the light side of your cognitive functions. And I would advise you to read my article on that. You find it on my blog, typevolution.com. And I'm also probably going to make a video about this. But yeah, you have to move to the light side of your cognitive functions. You have to become aware of your Enneagram type and not fall prey to limiting beliefs of your Enneagram type or common negative habits that your Enneagram type might fall into. And you need to fulfill your instinctual needs in order to really distinguish yourself, but as a positive example. And it becomes less of a thing of being like, oh yeah, I'm so rare, look at me. It's more about really fulfilling yourself and fulfilling the purpose you have as a human being on this earth with that personality type. Like I keep saying, the 16 personality types are actually 16 archetypes that have 16 distinct roles, purposes in our human society. If you do not follow a purpose that is close enough to your personality type, you're going to suffer and you're going to have issues and it's not going to be nice to you, for you or whatever. And if you're operating on the dark side using dark functions, it's going to bite you later in life, right? Like they say karma, or it's just going to be a very miserable experience. If you want to be rare, don't focus on, oh, what is the rarest personality type? It's just people are focusing on things that don't matter, that are not valuable. You know, like I keep saying, it doesn't really matter. What really matters is being the best version of yourself and your personality. That is rare and that is great. That is valuable. That is awesome. All the positive things you can think of. All the other stuff is irrelevant, okay? What matters is what you are doing with your life, okay? That is what matters. And people who are on the light side, they stand out no matter what their personality type is, even if they are S. Many people have the tendency to type people on the light side as N and people on the dark side as N, and people in the gray zone, the average, are often typed as S. But like I said, that's actually a mistype, a misconception. There are people on the light side who are S, and there are people on the dark side who are S. It's all over the place, let's say, all over the spectrum. So yeah, okay, this is my long rant about why it doesn't really matter what personality type is currently considered to be the rarest. It doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, some personality types are not needed in bigger quantities in the world, just based on how our human society is structured. And what really matters is really what you do with your personality type, being on the light side, being the best version of yourself, fulfilling your purpose as a human being, fulfilling yourself as a human being, your own instinctual needs, because also fulfilling yourself is important as well. All of these things actually matter, and that makes you rare. So the funny thing is, actually focusing on things that are not just about being rare are going to make you more rare and more valuable. Okay, my camera is running low. I'm going to say bye, and you can get typed by me, you can get coached by me, typevolution.com/services, and see you in the next video. Bye.